There's a moment on stage when every fear disappears. Your age, your body, the judges, none of it exists. Just the music and you. Nobody tells you that moment gets more powerful after 35, not less. Hi everyone and welcome back. I want to talk to you about something that I don't think gets said enough in a dance world, or honestly in any competitive world. What it actually feels like to compete when you are not 22 anymore. Not the inspiring version, the real version. The fear, the compression, the morning when your body reminds you exactly how old it is. And then that one moment on stage that makes all of it worth it. This is what nobody shows you. Let me tell you what the week before a competition actually looks like when you are competing after 35. It's not what you see on social media, it's not the beautiful dress laid on the bed and the perfect morning routine. It's a 6 a.m. and your hips are tight and you are standing in the kitchen wondering if you are straight enough yesterday. It's looking at the competition roster and seeing names of the dancers who are literally half your age. Dancers who started competing when you were already teaching. And there is this moment, I think every woman who competes past a certain age knows this moment, where you open the registration confirmation and think, what am I actually doing here? Who is this for? Am I trying to prove something? And the honest answer that took me years to find is yes. I'm proving something, but not for the judges, not to the young competitors, to this version of me that almost didn't register, that almost said maybe next year, maybe when I'm more ready, maybe when my body feels different. I registered anyway. I always register anyway. And that decision made quietly alone, usually late at night. That's where the real competition begins, not on the floor, right there. Here's what I don't say loud very often. Before every competition, there is a fear that has nothing to do with choreography or with the music. It's the fear that my body is not what it was at 22. That somehow, at some point, I crossed a line and I didn't notice when. We watched the younger competitors warming up. Their bodies move differently. They recover faster. They don't have to think about things that used to be automatic. And there is this voice that says, why are you still doing this? I think every woman who has ever competed after a certain age knows that voice, whether it's dance or running or anything that requires your body to perform. That voice shows up. And the honest truth is, yes, my body at 35 is different from my body at 22. Recovery takes longer. Some mornings I feel every single dance from the weekend before. But here's what I've learned that I wish someone had told me earlier. Different is not the same as less. My body at 35 knows things it could not have known at 22. It knows how to be present. It knows how to communicate. It knows how to make a moment feel like something, not just look like something. That's not something you can train in a 22-year-old. That only comes with time. And then the music starts. This is the part I cannot fully explain, but I'll try. There's a moment, usually about 30 seconds in, when everything that was in my head before simply stops. The fear about my body, the compression, the judges watching, all of it goes quiet. And there is just this, the floor, the music, my partner, and something that feels like pure honesty. I've been on stage hundreds of times, and that moment, that exact feeling has never gotten smaller. If anything, I feel it more now than I did 10 years ago, because now I know what it costs to get there. That's the thing nobody tells you about competing after 35. The stage doesn't get harder. The stage gets more meaningful. Here is something I've never said in a video before. I didn't grow up dancing. I didn't start at 5-year-old in a little pink leotard. Dancing was a dream I carried for most of my life and could not reach. When I was a child, I was hit by a car. And for years after that, the physical possibility just wasn't there. And then the life happened. There was never enough money or never enough time or enough stability to say, now I can do this thing I've always wanted. It wasn't until I was living in Miami and my life finally had some ground under it that I saw on Instagram ad for dance studio. I almost scrolled past it. I didn't. I walked in and I started dancing at an age when most competitive dancers have already retired. That was 3 years ago, and what happened inside me, I was not prepared for it. I thought I was going to learn steps. I learned something completely different. I learned how to feel things I had been holding for years. Emotional blocks that had been sitting in my body since I was a child started moving, started releasing. I don't know how else to explain it except dancing gave me back parts of myself I didn't know I had lost. I danced 2 programs, Standard and Latin, because each one opens a different door inside me. Standard taught me elegance and connection. Latin taught me fire and the presence. And what I understand now about dance, about relationship, about sharing energy, about 2 people creating one movement is completely different from what I thought I knew 3 years ago. So when people ask me, aren't you competing too late? I think about that child who got hit by a car and spent decades watching from the outside, and I think I'm not competing late. I'm competing exactly my time. Before I get to my last thought, if you've ever watched my competition journey and you're curious about the dresses I wear on stage, I design and sell my own competition ballroom gowns at irinavibestar.com. Every dress you've seen me compete in, I created. Link is in the description. I want to say something directly to anyone who is watching this, who is thinking about starting something or going back to something and telling themselves they are too old. You are not too old, you're just scared. And that's completely different. The fear that your body isn't enough. I have it too, before every single competition. And then I walked out on that floor and the music starts. And I remember, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Age doesn't take that moment away from you. Nothing takes that moment away from you, except the decision not to try. Tell me in the comments, have you ever talked yourself out of something because you thought you were too old? Or talked yourself back in? I read every single one. And if you want to follow this journey, the next competition is already on my calendar and I'm not going quietly. Subscribe and I will see you in the next one. XOXO. Mwah. Bye.